Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 587. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and happy St. Patrick's Day 2016, people. As you know, every time it's St. Patrick's Day, I wear these crazy hats and outfits. So, one of my favorite times throughout the year. So, alright, what's up, Chris?
Hey, hey.
What's up, Ray?
It was happy St. Paddy's Day here, but I can't get pissed, I'm afraid. I'm on a limit.
What's up, Sally?
Hello.
Alright, so, what do we have, Chris, about any Iron Man stuff?
Well, yeah, there was a article, or there was an interview with Robert Downey Jr. with somebody yesterday, or a couple of days ago, where basically they said, no Iron Man 4.
Right.
So, wherever they're planning on doing this Mandarin thing is not going to be in an Iron Man 4. So, I doubt we're ever going to see it.
That sucks.
That does suck.
I wanted an Iron Man 4.
That really is horrible. Unless he's bullshitting us. You think he's bullshitting us?
No, I don't.
Oh, Frank. Well, we're definitely not going to see the Mandarin in Avengers 5. Because that's just his villain. It's not going to be, what a shame, man. Maybe he'll turn around. I don't know. That's his main villain. I mean, that's horrible. I could see it, though. I could visualize it,
I could see it, too.
I could see him trapped in the Mandarin's home area as a prisoner or something, and then just finding his way to get his armor and different things, and basically Mandarin crushing his whole company or whatever. I mean, that would be really cool to see.
Yeah, pretty much what Iron Man 3 should have been.
Right. Exactly. So, what about you, Sally? What do you think?
I think it sucks. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, that does suck. What about you, Ray?
I wanted Iron Man 4 so bad, especially after number 3.
I know, that left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, unfortunately.
I'm not being rude, it was like Star Trek Into the Darkness, weren't it?
Yeah, and that's terrible. Well, anything can happen in the future, so let's just have a wait-and-see attitude. Maybe it'll come around. What other news do we have on Iron Man?
We have the Russos who already directed Captain America: The Winter Soldier. They're directing Infinity War. They're saying that they do not believe Iron Man will ever be recast.
Okay.
So, I mean, honestly, I think that, from the article here, they're saying that they think it's impossible to replace Robert Downey Jr. So they said that what the article is saying here is it more likely that they completely stop doing Iron Man if they can't recast him and if Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to continue.
Right. Or they could have that. Yeah, that's it. Either they would just not have Iron Man at all. I mean, I guess from the trailer, it looks like War Machine's dead. I think, unless he's severely hurt.
I don't think he's dead.
He's just severely hurt, right?
I think he just got knocked out or something. I don't think he's dead. I think he's probably, like you said, severely injured.
Maybe he's playing possum or something.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead. I don't think they're gonna kill him off.
Right. I can't imagine having an Avengers movie or any type of Marvel movie without mention or them showing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. So, I'm sure he's going to be around in different Marvel movies in that capacity as Iron Man, and that's how we'll get our Iron Man fix. But no Iron Man 4. I mean, again, too, they also said that this is the last Captain America. So,
yeah,
I thought that they always planned, a fourth Captain America where he battles the Red Skull. That was supposed to be the whole thing. When the Red Skull comes back, it would be in a Captain America 4 after all these storylines and stuff like that are done. So...
Yeah.
I mean, they could easily, you could look at it like this. Eventually, this Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to end, and either they're going to want the money, they're going to have to either reboot it or do something with it, recast, or do something with all of them.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I think they're doing, because I think that this is probably the way they're going to go. Iron Man and Cap have now had 3 movies each. Thor's going to have a 3rd movie. That's like the main cast of the Avengers right there, right? I think they're going to start phasing them out of having their own movies and letting these new characters have their own movies. And then you'll see Captain America and Iron Man and Thor in Avengers movies, but they're not going to be making solo films based on them anymore. Because it would be kind of difficult to have, a Captain America movie, Iron Man, Thor, but we also want Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. If they're going to do they're doing Black Panther, possibly Inhumans, which I doubt, and some of these other characters, they're probably going to start focusing on them, getting them 3 movies each, and then, okay, they're done. Next character, 3 movies, done, and then you'll see them all in, like, Avengers or a movie like Civil War or something, which I think is the right way to go, because if you have, like, 8 Iron Man movies, it's like, all right, enough with the frickin' Iron Man.
I know it was like a Spider-Man after the first 3, and then when the Amazing Spider-Man come out, it just got repetitive, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Like, how many times? Well, Spider-Man's a different story because...
Yeah, Spider-Man, I could see, like, 10 movies. I'm a Spider-Man nut, so...
He has so many different villains that each movie is, like, literally a completely different story.
Right.
So,
that's the only way I think Iron Man would work, if there's different villains, but there's not that many villains for him, is there?
There's not too many for him.
Yeah, but I'd like to see him do the lesser-known characters.
Yeah. Sorry to distract you. My girlfriend just told me that this is what this does. It lights up on 3 different levels. How awesome is that? Thank you, sweets.
Well done.
Yeah, so, all right, yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Is it that they just don't want to pay these guys like $50, $60 million or something, or what?
Well, I mean, I think that's part of it, and to tell you the truth, I agree with that. I think
Why?
Because if these people are asking for this amount of money, right? How long do you think it's going to be before other people start asking for that amount of money?
But here's the thing, right? Okay, the movies make like $1.5 billion or like $2 billion, right? So Robert Downey Jr., like, all right, he made like $50 million, but so what? I mean, if you think about in the freaking 1989, right? Jack Nicholson had a deal where he made more money than the whole entire cast. He made about $250 million in that weird contract that he had. Not only that, but he also made them sign a contract for the first movie that if he was in the second one or not, he would get paid money. And he would make percentage of merchandise. So he made more money with Batman than his whole entire career probably. Okay? And he had this sweet deal, and that was back in the friggin' 80s. So what is it for, all right, Tony Stark, I mean, that's what Robert Downey Jr., he got $50 million, right? Big whoop-de-doo! Big friggin' deal.
But if you think about it, there's more publicity nowadays with these celebrities than there was back then.
All right, so why can't you have, listen to this, right? Why can't you have a contract with these actors, right? This is your set salary. And if the movie makes $1,500,000,000, you make this. If the movie makes $2 billion, you make this. And even go ridiculous, if the movie makes $3 billion, you make this. And that's it. And then there's like incentives like a baseball player or something for them to show off. And really, how much money do they really lose if, all right, they pay him $50 million now, right? And then the next time they pay him $55 million with a percentage of merchandising, or he gets paid $60 million where he gets a let's just say they'll sign him for 10 movies with a special deal, okay, or something. What's the big deal?
Because it doesn't work that way.
But Chris Hemsworth made more money doing friggin' the Huntsman or whatever. The what the hell is the name of that movie?
Snow White.
Snow White, right? The Snow White Huntsman thing, whatever. He made more money doing that than playing Thor, right?
Yeah.
Is he doing the second one?
I don't think so. No.
All right, but he still made tons of money than that. And Robert Downey Jr. negotiated for them to get better deals, but they're not gonna. He's not gonna get like $50 million, no.
But the thing is, though, Chris Hemsworth isn't Robert Downey Jr. though. Like
Right.
that's the thing. When Robert Downey Jr. makes a movie, right? I'm pretty sure he's guaranteed to get his salary, whether or not the movie is successful or not. So
All
if
right.
he's gonna do that, how long before these other actors and actresses start saying, "Hey, I want that too," and then they go, "Well, we can't give you that." Oh yeah, well then I don't want to do any more movies.
All right, so
I'll
then
go do
don't.
something else.
All right, so then don't, because you know what happens? I'm going to give you an example, right? Tobey Maguire pulled that crap, and he was almost fired for Spider-Man 2. And then he was begging, like his girlfriend had to, you know, her family was in Hollywood. She had to pull some strings, and he was back in Spider-Man 2, and that whole ego thing went out the window, and he forgot about that. Because, you know, at the end of the day, once this is done, right? You got to think job security. You got to think, well, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? What roles am I going to have? You know? And honestly, when they get older, sometimes they just don't get roles.
So like Will Smith.
You don't get roles. So wouldn't you rather have like a thing where he knows Robert Downey Jr., all right, there's going to come a point in time where I may need money again, and I have job security, I'll sign a 10-year deal. Well, I'll be Tony Stark for another 10 years or whatever, here and there, as long as they let me do other films.
No, because his name value is so high that he'll get roles for the rest of his life.
He's
And
that good.
he has enough leverage with Marvel to be like, listen, I want this, or I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna go do something else. Now,
And then
would he
faces
do
even.
that?
No.
I don't know if he would do that because he's such a fan of the universe and of the character he plays. But at the end of the day, it is just a role, and it is just about money. And if he can go do something, even if he's making a little bit less, he can go
Right.
somewhere else and do something that he wants to do, and then Marvel will be like, damn it, we lost him.
Right. Well, honestly, I think that he probably would stay.
I think he will.
I think he'll stay. I don't think that would ever be a problem. You know? He loves what he's doing. He has kids come to his house to watch the movie. He gave the kid that didn't have an arm or something, the Iron Man thing, and
Yeah.
you know, he's always trying to help kids and stuff. You know, he shows up in comic book stores and hangs out with people. I mean, it's like, you know, I don't think he's enjoying. It's not just about the money. So at some point in time, it's going to be like, look, it's not just about the money. If you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to continue doing it.
Yeah.
You know? What do you have to say, Sally? Anything?
Oh, I agree. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah. Right?
No, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah. Now, here with the X-Men thing, right? They were worried that James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender were going to be goodbye. I mean, their careers are skyrocketing. So what did they do? They signed them for, I believe, 2 more, just in case. Okay? So we got another 2 X-Men after this, Apocalypse. Which, is it the Savage Land? Is it the Dark Phoenix Saga? It's probably Dark Phoenix Saga. And I'm sure they'll pop up. And don't count Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen out either. Because Patrick Stewart's going to be appearing probably for the final time as Professor X in the Wolverine movie. And Ian McKellen, I'm sure, is going to show up too as Magneto. So, what else did we have, Chris?
I don't have any other articles here.
Okay. What about this one? I saw this, I'll post it on your Facebook, and you can tell me if this is a real article or not.
Oh, I got them. Hold on. I don't know why
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see them before.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so this is about Star Wars Episode 8, allegedly.
Okay.
Spoilers, possibly. Daisy Ridley might have dropped a massive spoiler for what lies ahead in Star Wars Episode 8 and beyond for heroes Finn and Rey. In her wishing co-star John Boyega happy birthday on Instagram, she seemed to at least playfully hint at a romance for Finn and Rey by sharing fan art of the pair holding hands. Okay, so that's them in there.
Okay.
And
Should I screen share it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me get it.
That's pretty much the whole article there.
I mean, it looked like the way they were bouncing back off each other that was going to be a possibility. I mean, why did this just move? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, there's that, but I'm gonna cite what was in the Force Awakens novel. I'm pretty sure her and Poe are gonna get together.
Really? Or is it gonna be like a love triangle thing or something?
No, I don't think so, because in the novel there's a line where Rey meets Poe and she introduces herself. She says, "I'm Rey," and he looks at her and he goes, "I know." And then I believe that
that's like the female character.
Basically, yeah. I'm pretty sure that they're casting a female character who I think she's already been cast for Episode 8, but I believe the casting thing was supposed to be Finn's love interest. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have a different love interest in Episode 8.
Oh, okay. But eventually they may get together or probably not?
I'm saying no, but it's always a possibility.
Right.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think so.
I mean, theoretically, I would rather see Rey not get with anybody at all and go the Jedi path and say, I can't be with anybody.
Right. I still say that she's Luke's daughter because I don't believe that whole Anakin reincarnated. That'd be kind of weird.
There was an interesting thing that they brought up on Collider. It was about J.J. Abrams, because J.J. Abrams apologized to all the fans because he said that he made a critical mistake in Episode 7 by
Chewbacca?
Not having Chewbacca hug Leia when they got back after Han died.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, but the thing was, one of the guys on Collider said there was a pretty big reveal, quote unquote, in the way that he said that. He said that Rey and Leia, the reason that they kind of embraced instead of Chewbacca and Leia was because that the Force, they were so drawn to each other because of how strong each was in the Force, that even though they had never met, they thought they'd known each other for a long time. And the guys on Collider said, you notice how they said, even though they've never met? It's kind of unlikely that if she's Luke's daughter, they've never met.
So they've met. He is Luke's daughter.
No, they said they've never met before. Leia and Rey have never met before that first time. So the point that they were making was, isn't it odd that if she's Luke's daughter, she's never met Leia before?
So then who the hell is she?
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure she's not Luke's daughter anymore.
She's Ben Kenobi, maybe?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if they said that she's just another character. Like, she's not related to anybody.
No way.
I'm telling you, who could she be related to if she's not Luke's daughter?
People would definitely be upset if they did that, I think.
Who could she be? I have no idea.
I think personally it would be better if she's not related to anybody.
What the crackerjack is this?
This is the Everything Show, and we're talking about Rey possibly being Luke's daughter or whatever. We don't know yet.
I don't think so, based on her dialogue. I very carefully, because I've seen The Force Awakens twice on the big screen, once on Footlocker, which I recommend Footlocker. You can watch it for free, the Spanish version. Anyway, but there was a line of dialogue that she says when she first met Han Solo, and Han Solo talks about how he knew Luke Skywalker. And she's like, Luke Skywalker? He's real? I thought he was a myth or a legend or something. She says something to that nature. Not exactly, I can't remember exactly word by word, but she says something close to that. And that leads me to believe that she is not Luke's daughter.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was just saying, Chris, on the on Collider, they were talking about how J.J. Abrams apologized for Chewbacca not hugging Leia after Han died. And the way he described it, he said the reason Leia and Rey embraced instead of Leia and Chewbacca was because they're so strong in the Force that they were like naturally drawn to each other.
Well,
And he said that
go ahead.
even though they've never met, they were naturally drawn to each other. And then the guys on Collider said, "Isn't it odd that if Rey is Luke's daughter, she's never met Leia before?"
Well, it's obvious that Rey is super strong in the Force. She's probably the strongest Force user ever seen in Star Wars because she needed no training. And then, and it's obvious that Leia is strong in the Force. She just has no training. She's being that she's the daughter of Anakin Skywalker, and Anakin Skywalker was really strong in the Force. He had a very high midichlorian count, and I'm sure Leia has very similar high midichlorian count. But and I'm sure that they would be drawn to each other and hug each other because of that. But I don't think that means that they're related.
Why can't she be Leia's daughter? Like, why couldn't after the thing happened with,
I would just think there would be more dialogue. If she was Leia's daughter, she'd be like, "Oh, it's my daughter." Leia obviously knows her son and talks about her son.
Right.
Maybe they saw something with her future and they hid her away or something.
Well, again, though, it goes back to the thing that they said on Collider that JJ said. Leia and her have never met.
The big rumor that I heard that I would believe because it would be a typical Star Wars twist is that Peter Snoke is her father. And I would believe that. He's obviously strong in the Force, and he may be, at the time when he abandoned her, the Empire was still around, and formed the First Order, and forgot about her because he's evil and he's with the dark side.
I honestly don't think she has a remote evil in her body, and I honestly think that she's either Leia's daughter or Luke's daughter, and or Ben Kenobi's daughter, but they're going to be some type of connection.
Well, Kathleen Kennedy, I think, said that Rey would redefine the way we look at the Force, and I think what it is you have Kylo Ren. He is tempted by the light side of the Force, and he was a light side user originally, trained by Luke Skywalker. Then he turned evil, but he still had part of the light side within him. But then he cast that out when he killed his father, and so he turned to the dark side because he's only using the dark side. Before he killed Han Solo, his father, he was using part of the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force. So I think what this is based on the rumors that come from substantial Force, like Clever Movies and some of these other YouTube channels, and usually the rumors are pretty dead on. That I don't know where they're getting their information, probably from somebody in production. But I think that what it is she's the opposite of Kylo Ren. Comes from the dark side of the Force, and she's brought into the light side, and she's using light side and dark Force abilities, which makes her much more powerful than the average Jedi and the average Sith.
All right, what about this? What about this theory? Okay, what if it's possible that just like Senator, just like Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, right? He basically created Anakin, you believe, with the manipulation of the midichlorians. I know they're not going to talk about midichlorians again, but what if she just has no mother or father, and they try to do that again, I
have no problem with midichlorians. These Star Wars fans who had an issue with midichlorians are little whiny bitches, and they need to shut up.
No, but the thing I'm talking about is I have a problem with the midichlorian thing, but what if they repeated that with her, though? Like, what if they tried to make another, like Anakin, like Palpatine did, but with her, like she really doesn't have a mother or father, and Luke took her in?
Well, there's another theory. I believe that she's the daughter of Supreme Leader Snoke. But there's another theory, and then who the mother is, that's yet to be determined. But and then some people think that Captain Phasma might be the mother. But
yeah, Chris, wait.
There's two things. There's actually three things we have to keep in mind here because there's theories being thrown around that may or may not actually work.
Okay.
The novel of The Force Awakens is canon.
Okay.
So everything in the novel took place in the movie, even if we didn't see it. Okay.
So how much of it in the book takes place that we didn't see? There's
three good things here that we don't see because we can't see them. that happen in the movie, and this is confirmed. This isn't conjecture. This is confirmed by Disney themselves, not by
Okay.
J.J. Abrams, but by Disney.
Okay,
When
yeah.
Kylo Ren killed Han Solo, he did not cast out the light side. The light side became even stronger in him when he killed him. In the book it says, though he thought that killing his father, would allow the dark side to embrace him, he felt the light more than ever.
Well,
That's
that makes
the first-
sense to me. I mean,
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does to me.
why would he feel the
Because-
light side of the Force
Because
when he
Han
does something
Solo
bad?
knew that if that happens, by touching his face was the key, showing that he just still showed love to his son, even though his son killed him.
Well,
Now,
why would he be
Rey-
weaker? Why would he be weaker because of it then? If he's more
He's not
tempted by the
weaker.
light side?
He's not weaker in the sense, unless of course he wants to be the dark side, and he can't be dark if he's light. That's how he's
why he lost.
I haven't
It
read
was
the
a
book.
combination of him getting shot by the bowcaster, and because of that, they say it in the book too. He wasn't all there when he was fighting Finn and Rey. He was so like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me?
right.
That's why he lost.
Right.
And
Well,
the
that makes sense.
thing,
I-
and this is the thing with Rey though.
Okay, one thing I had read cliff notes that stated that the book described him as becoming weaker after he killed Han Solo.
That's it.
Right. Weaker in the dark side,
Yeah.
not in the
That
light
makes-
side.
That sounds like J.J. Abrams' logic to me.
No.
No,
It
but
makes
it wasn't,
perfect
though.
sense. It makes perfect sense.
It's canon
because-
logic.
Wait a minute. Let me talk for a second. He's completely 100% convinced that if he kills Han Solo, he turns to the dark side, and
Yeah.
he's wrong. He's wrong, Kylo Ren, because the moment his father touches his face, that's like, oh my God, I'm wrong. My father still loves me. My father never cast me out. My mother maybe did, but my father always loved me. And even now, after I killed him, he loves me. He touched my face. So that totally screwed him up.
And that goes in tandem with what's in the book and one of the deleted scenes on
Well,
the
that's
DVD.
that's possibly why there's a scene that that takes place after Episode 7. It was Kylo Ren doing a
Falcon.
documentary, Undercover Boss.
No, that was the
He
that was the
was
side of
obviously really
canon.
weak there.
That's not canon. That was side of
I'm being silly. I'm being silly.
No,
I was, you know me and my deadpan humor. I like to try to approach it like it's a serious
Right.
thing, but it's not.
But there's also a scene in the book, and we're getting it. It's a deleted scene from the movie where Ren goes into the Millennium Falcon, and he tells the stormtroopers to leave, and
Right.
he looks in the cockpit, and like he's got his mask on, but you can tell that he's sitting there like, I can't do this.
And he says
I
Han
can't do
Solo,
this. I
right?
can't do this. Huh?
Doesn't he say Han Solo?
I don't know if he says anything, but you can tell he's going through like emotional hell, like in that cockpit.
Right.
He's just like, I can't
Well,
do this.
let me say this about Rey. She seems to know who her parents were and that they were supposed to come back for her, and they left her at a young age. And you see that in the flashback scene, a hint at that. And she seems to realize that Luke Skywalker is not her father. She thought he was a mythical
I
character.
think her parents are not really her parents. I think they are her caregivers or
Yeah.
something. I feel like 100% positive that who she believes are her parents are not her parents.
Well, I just
and
wanted
after
to bring
seeing
this up.
after seeing the teaser trailer for Episode 8, which I know some people call it really a teaser trailer, you get to see Luke Skywalker for profile view from a scene in Episode 8. He looks more emo than ever. That's all I can say.
Well, I wanted to bring up the other thing from the book too, because we were talking about Rey possibly turning to the dark side, or maybe in the book when she beats Kylo Ren and she has him on the ground. In the book, it says she felt a strong presence telling her to kill him, and it was almost as if she was going to. Before that, see, personally, I think what they were trying to do is symbolically show that in the movie, when that fissure opens up in the ground and it divides them, I think that was supposed to be like the will of the Force, keeping them from each other.
Right.
Because because in the book it says she felt a strong, dark presence urging her to kill him.
Good.
Basically, yeah.
Strike him down.
And then there's a rumored leaked script for Episode 8 but that's from what I understand.
That wasn't real.
Was part of the script's being rewritten, but there was one. Yeah. I don't know if it was real or not, but it supposedly claimed that Supreme Leader Snoke was actually Emperor Palpatine in disguise.
Oh yeah, we reported about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we already dissected the crap.
Did you?
We dissected the crap out of that. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Ray?
I was just going to say, did you see, well, I did talk about Star Wars, did you see that there's only 3 actors now cast around Solo's movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about that the other day. Yeah.
And you know, there was another thing too. I don't even think Rey is her real name.
Well, that's possible. I mean, just Kylo Ren is not his real name. It's Ben Solo.
Yeah, because in the art book, there, you know that X-wing helmet that she puts on at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it has Rey on the helmet.
It said the name on the side is Rey.
Right.
Yeah, because there's an actual script. There's I can't remember the name of that script. It's a Star Wars language, but it's basically they just took the Latin alphabet and created a script to make it look like an alien, and you can actually translate that script. And you know, and
so
go ahead.
No, I'm okay. I'm sorry. Okay, finish.
That's all I was going to say. You can translate. And
oh no!
In the script, translated it into Rey, but it's supposedly a different Rey character than the Rey that we see in Star Wars. It's a Rey from Rogue One, which might be in the movie Rogue One.
I'm going to say that Rey is either Luke's daughter, Leia's daughter, or Ben Kenobi's daughter, but definitely related to somebody massive.
Well, Ben Kenobi, that doesn't match the timeline, though.
I know, or it could be granddaughter, or some, I don't know.
It could be the granddaughter of Ben Kenobi. That would be more realistic.
Or could it be a former student of Yoda?
No.
No, the timeline doesn't match at all.
In Clone Wars, Ben Kenobi did have a love interest, but he felt good because he was a Jedi, wasn't supposed to have a love interest, so he abandoned his love interest. I can't remember the character's name, but it was several episodes of Clone Wars. There was a blonde-haired woman that he had a fling with. It was actually
she was the Duchess of some planet. I can't
remember.
So that's actually canon, you know, because it's in Clone Wars.
Well, you know, you said something before, Joe, that gave me an idea. You brought up the whole how Anakin was created by possibly manipulating midichlorians and stuff.
Right.
Could they do something like this? Where, because I'm sorry to keep referencing the novel, but there's a lot in the novel that's very important. When Luke sees Rey, it says that he knows who she is. As if they've met before or something like that, but he knows who she is.
Did he create her?
Is it possible that he created her somehow, possibly trying to recreate the Jedi Order? So technically, symbolically, he's her father, but not really. Like, he's not biologically her father.
I think that's more of a dark side force kind of thing to do. I don't think he created her in that way. I think that she may have been a Padawan when she was like 5 years old.
I think she has training already.
When Kylo Ren rebelled and killed off, when Kylo Ren rebelled and killed off all of Luke's students, she was probably possibly one of Luke's students that survived as a Padawan at a young age, and she.
Well, here's the thing: how old are they apart, Kylo Ren and her?
I think Ren is.
I was just going to say, if she was a Padawan, she could have repressed her memories, but she would still have the Force training that Luke gave her. Because in like Clone Wars, and it had already been established in Knights of the Old Republic video game, but that's no longer canon. But in Clone Wars, you know, it had been established, and also in the prequels, that you train Jedi really young, like 4 or 5 years old. And so she could have possibly been trained, and then there was a danger because Kylo Ren killed everybody and was trying to kill all Luke's students, so then she went into hiding, and then, you know, her name was changed and her real identity was obscured. But I still don't think that Luke is her father. Just based on that one line of dialogue, that it could be, then she doesn't know because she doesn't know who her real identity is.
How old, Chris, is Kylo Ren?
Ren is supposed to be 29, and Rey is supposed to be in her early 20s. I think that's how they're doing it.
That's a big issue then, because it could be that he did what he did, wiping everybody out, she was supposed to be trained. Maybe she was younger, and that her parents said, "Screw this," or something. You can't train her anymore, or they just pulled her out of there. When she was younger.
Well,
like, really.
It's possible that Luke was the one that pulled her out and rescued her, but in the flashback scene, because I've seen it twice and I've analyzed it, there's a lot going on. Touches the lightsaber, so much going on. I almost need to watch it like 10 times to figure out everything. But in that scene, she looks like she's about 8 or 9 years old, and and so if Kylo Ren is like 6 or 7 years older, he would be like 15, 16. He would be old enough to take on adults because he would be nearly an adult himself. So that would fit in with the timeline.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
She's definitely connected to that lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know how the hell they got that back.
Well, there's another.
Yeah, me too.
There's another theory that has a lot of traction on the internet, but it's I don't really believe it, but I think it's a fun theory. There's a lot of fans who believe that she is the female clone.
I don't think so.
Of Anakin Skywalker reincarnated with his Force spirit.
No freaking way.
Well, no, I wouldn't dismiss.
Wouldn't that be cool? A transgender bender Darth Vader?
No.
I wouldn't dismiss that. I'm telling you, because this is why there was the line in The Force Awakens where Kylo Ren is talking to General Hux, and he goes, "Oh, maybe Supreme Leader Snoke should consider using a clone army." So cloning is still around, and if they tried to clone Vader, think about this though, right? If we know that the Knights of Ren worship Vader, why wouldn't they try to clone Vader?
Well, what if they didn't clone Vader, but what if they clone Leia?
Well, why would they clone Leia though?
But the thing is that, she could be powerful with the Force if she wanted to be.
Who, Leia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But she doesn't want to.
But she's not Darth Vader. The Knights of Ren they worship Darth Vader. So if you think about this, right? If you had the ability, let's say you worshipped Darth Vader right now, right? And you had the chance, you had the ability, the technology, and the funding, whatever you need, to clone Darth Vader and bring him back, the deity of your worship. Why wouldn't you?
You would hide him in the body of a female rather than a male, so they wouldn't even look for him?
Why not?
Then that gets old.
Till she's ready to be trained? Why not?
Then that gets all weird then, because then you gotta start getting into like.
I love it. I love the weirdness.
But then you start to get like, oh, is her soul like? Remember, is it connected with Anakin? Is he? I mean, it gets all kind of crazy.
That's perfect though, because the Force is a spiritual being. So it works when you think about it. And it also explains her temptation to the dark side, because Anakin obviously was always tempted.
So, what if it turns out that she's related to Palpatine then?
Well, that wouldn't make any sense though, because the main character, and this is what I'm saying, right? The main characters of 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9, they have to be Skywalkers, because this is a Skywalker story.
So she's a Skywalker.
Kylo Ren is a Skywalker, kind of. He's
but so is she. So
is
she.
But if she's not Luke's daughter, then who is she?
But
she's not
Leia's daughter. Well,
she's not Leia's daughter.
But how do you explain that Obi-Wan Kenobi talks to her when
I think
in
the
a
cloning
flashback?
theory has merit. I really do, because they have the cloning technology. It's been around since, a.k.a. the Clone Wars. So
yeah,
why not?
What do you think?
And there was a really popular expanded universe novel that had clones of Palpatine, and I noticed that like in Star Wars Rebels, they're starting to incorporate a lot of Star Wars legends and things from the original EU that was, for a time, was no longer canon, but then they brought it back into canon because it was popular in Rebels. So why wouldn't they do that in the movies? So
what were you saying, Ray? You asked
I
us
said,
what we think.
sorry, Steampunk. But I just said, how do you explain the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi talks to her in her visions?
Well, why not? I mean, Obi-Wan can talk to anybody if he wants to.
But if it was Skywalker, then Anakin would talk to her, wouldn't he?
Well, he was supposed to be in the movie. Anakin's Force Ghost was going to be in the movie, and half of his face was going to be like Darth Vader.
And Yoda was supposed to be talking at the end to Luke.
Yeah, and you hear Yoda's voice in the flashback. That's the first thing you hear. He says, "It is energy. It surrounds us. It binds us." That whole thing from Empire.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
you hear Obi-Wan Kenobi too.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
twice.
Yeah. All right. So if she has to be a Skywalker somehow, so
Somehow.
we're running out of options here. I mean, is she? She's got to be Luke's daughter, man. No way around it.
It's possible. Let me just say this. We know that they hired the, I can't remember her name, but she's the actress from Jurassic Park, who played the...
Dallas Howard.
Laura Dern.
Right.
Oh, Laura Dern. Okay.
If she's playing Mara Jade, case
it's on.
closed.
That's it. It's over. It's over. That's it.
If she's not, it could, I'm not going to say that,
Well, Mara Jade is a Jedi as well, right?
Mara Jade was a Sith assassin originally.
All right. So there you go. Then of course it's way even better.
They could easily make her like some form of a Knight of Ren or something, because we don't know how the Knights of Ren began either.
Right.
That's another thing we have to figure out.
Right. So Mara Jade, maybe. That's
Maybe.
what they're probably going to do. All right. She's definitely a Skywalker somehow, though. I don't know how, but somehow. So. Why couldn't they just make her like Leia's daughter? Like, couldn't they in the books? Wasn't it like what, twin sons? Or wasn't it a guy and a girl, like a daughter?
Yeah, it was Jaina and Jance, or Jason, Jaina and Jason, and then they had Anakin Solo.
Okay, which is Ben Solo, right? Whatever, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see.
Well, their son
Hey,
Jason turns to the dark side in the books as well. He
Right.
becomes Darth Kaidos.
I got here to Starbucks kind of late. I got to go buy something so they
Yeah.
don't kick me out of here. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah.
I'll be right back. It'll take me about a couple minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna mute you while you're going. Okay.
And I've been saying this too. If Rey is not a Skywalker, if she's not related to them at all, there's no way they can kill Kylo Ren. They can't kill him off. Because
Right,
he'll be the only connection to the Skywalkers that we have. If Luke and Leia die.
Well, Leia's definitely dying, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And Luke, I'm not with Luke, will have to go for this new generation.
Luke's not, I don't know if Luke. No, not necessarily. I don't know if Luke could go in this one coming up.
I'm saying he's either going to go... I think he's going to go in 8, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that him and Leia could both die in 8 and then leave 9 to the new characters.
Probably. Yeah.
That's how I see it going.
Yeah. There's no way that she's not related. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think it's just going to be the obvious choice, Luke's daughter. And if it's not Luke's daughter, it has to be Leia's daughter, and that's it. I mean, you can't be anything else.
Could be.
So
Could be.
it
If
could
she's
be
connected
that,
to
you know,
Snoke
wait, you know what it could be? It could be that Leia started to see the sun turning, and she just panicked, and she had Han Solo take her, and put her with people, and they did something with her memory, and these people were caring for her, and exactly that's why the Falcon's there and everything else, because, or maybe whatever, basically that's the daughter, and she didn't want her to have any part of that, even though she was already half trained or whatever. So Leia could have just dumped her somewhere just to protect her for a long time when she was 9 or whatever. And of course they don't know what the hell she looks like. She just senses it, Leia. That's why probably Han Solo probably felt it too. Like that's his kid. That's what I feel. So.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I am back, and I went
Personally,
bananas.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't find out who she is until 9.
I don't know about
Because
that.
I think the next movie is going to be... I think we're going to find out who Snoke is in the next one.
I know it's going to be Finn-centric too. Like Phasma's going to go after him.
I hope it has Admiral Thrawn in it. I hope I heard from Clever Movies that there's a rumor that Admiral Thrawn is going to be one of the major villains in the next movie.
No,
Could be.
Yeah, you think so?
Benicio del Toro could be playing him.
Right. Okay. Is there going to be
That
anybody
would
else?
be really cool.
Is there going to be anybody else that has the Force, like Kylo Ren, like a Sith or something? Or?
I think we're going to see the other Knights of Ren.
Oh, okay.
To tell you the truth, I really do.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. On that note, that's going to be it for this episode. So happy St. Patrick's Day. Take care. Bye for now.